If you're building in the United States of America, if you're working in the United States of America, if you're trying to earn a decent living right here at home, we are going to fight for you every single day. But if you build crap overseas and try to undercut the wages of American workers, you're going to pay a big fat tariff before you bring it back in to the United States of America.
The court battle over the president's tariffs heating up tonight. A federal court now says most of the tariffs are illegal, though they will remain in effect at least for now. And soon the issue will head to the U.S. Supreme Court. Let's bring in attorney Alex Swoyer and UC Berkeley law professor, the great John Yoo. All right, Professor, I'm going to share this with you. This is the Attorney General Pam Bondi. She actually posted this on X. She says the president found there was a national emergency and took action under the law by imposing tariffs. The judges of the federal circuit are interfering with the president's vital and constitutionally central role in foreign policy. Who's right in this case, the panel or the AG?
Kevin, I think that the Court of Appeals here issued a seriously flawed decision. It actually ignores what was the most vulnerable part of the tariffs, which is our trade deficit's actually a national security emergency, and instead focuses, I think, on an implausible claim, which is that this IEPA law, this International Economic Emergency Powers Act, doesn't vest the president with broad powers in foreign affairs. In that respect, Attorney General Bondi is right. It's not just that the president has constitutional authority here, but Congress has delegated even more power to the president to take action in the economic sphere. The statute says that if there is such a national security emergency, the president can block and regulate any foreign transaction. How is it that he can't impose tariffs? Under this law, presidents have cut off all trade with countries like Iran, Cuba, North Korea. So how can a president not do less, which is to impose, say, a tariff of 10%, 20%, or 30%? That, and plus the fact that the Court of Appeals ignored the major Supreme Court precedent on this statute, upheld President Reagan's imposition of sanctions on Iran during the hostages crisis, means I think the justices are sure to take this case and may well overturn the Court of Appeals below.
Alex, I saw you nodding in agreement.
I am nodding. I believe that this is going to come to the court very fast. It might be on the shadow docket here in the next few weeks. And I think that, to John's point, that he's going to have a favorable look there. There's already, I know, a few justices, Justice Robert, Justice Kavanaugh, Justice Alito, Justice Thomas, that I can see saying, hey, it's not up to the court to second guess what the executive is saying is a national emergency. Separation
of powers. I keep saying it. It seems so obvious to me. Now, let's talk about this Lisa Cooke drama. A lot of ways to go with this story. She's been accused of committing mortgage fraud, and there are those who say, listen,
and she's not alone.
That's right, and she's not alone, as we've learned, obviously. This is Claudia Tenney talking about the legal standard to remove her. Listen to this. Get your thoughts on the other side.
I think Lisa Cooke has shown that she's using her position for personal gain. You know, she's lied. The question is whether or not she's committed something that would be arbitrary and capricious. Maybe that's the standard. They're actually looking for a standard right now legally, and that could be a standard that could remove her.
Could remove her. Do you think it happens?
I think eventually it happens. So this case right now is in front of a Biden appointee. So I hate to say that I predict that it won't go the president's way initially.
Right.
But I do think in the end it will. And that's because the Supreme Court has actually already greenlit some of his firings. They've kind of said, you know, with the National Labor Relations Board, Consumer Protection Board, that it's been okay. There's also this precedent that a lot of people are talking about that possibly in the next term could be overturned, Humphrey's executor, and that has to do with limiting a president's ability to remove someone without cause or for cause. The thing about cause, there's no definition in the statute, right? So you can also think, is there a potential conflict of interest here with her being on the Fed and facing these, I think it's actually 3 mortgage issues now. The 2 primary and then the condo, the investment property. So yeah, it doesn't look too good for her.
All I can say is what a mess. Really quickly, I'd love to get you both on this, maybe 15 seconds each. The Minnesota mother, Professor Yoo, it seems to me that she might be in a bit of legal jeopardy based on what I've been reading. Do you think that's possible?
It is possible. I don't think it's a big winner, but some other states have tried to hold liable the parents of children who have gone and engaged in these school shootings. However, I think the more important thing to look at is whether states should try to ban these transgender drugs if they are having an effect on people's mental health, as we saw in the Supreme Court term in Scrimeti, that states are allowed to ban those for minors and maybe even adults.
Yeah, given what's happened with all these shootings, that may be a wise decision. 15
seconds. The
seconds.
one thing I'll say is that what's different about this case compared to like the Michigan family that was held, the two parents that were held liable there, is he was 15. We're dealing with an adult, and he wasn't living with his mom, as far as we know. So I think it's kind of hard to say that she would face criminal charges. It could be very possible that some of the parents do bring a civil lawsuit against her.
And I think that might be certainly a possibility. Professor Yoo and the great Alex Swoyer, thank you both tonight. Appreciate you both. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.